House Targaryen's story begins in Valyria, a mighty empire across the narrow sea. They were dragon lords, a noble family with the power to control dragons. One day, a young Targaryen named Daenerys had a vision. She saw Valyria engulfed in flames. Daenerys convinced her family to leave Valyria. They traveled with their dragons to a remote island called Dragonstone. 12 years later, Daenerys' vision came true. A cataclysmic event known as the Doom destroyed Valyria. The Targaryens were one of the few Dragonlord families to survive. They established a new home on Dragonstone. Their sigil became a three-headed red dragon breathing fire on a black field. Their words, fire and blood. For over a century the Targaryens lived on Dragonstone. They observed the 7 kingdoms of Westeros across the narrow sea. The 7 kingdoms were plagued by war and strife. Aegon Targaryen, a descendant of Daenerys, believed he could unite Westeros under his rule. He had 3 large dragons, Balerion, Vhagar and Meraxes. These dragons would become key to Aegon's ambitions. Aegon Targaryen, known as Aegon the Conqueror, launched his invasion of Westeros. He landed with his sisters Visenya and Rhaenys, who also rode dragons. Aegon's dragons instilled fear in the hearts of his enemies. Many lords and kings chose to bend the knee rather than face the fire. Aegon's conquest was swift and brutal. He fought many battles and won most of them. He used his dragons to burn entire armies. He defeated the major houses of Westeros one by one. After his victory, Aegon forged a new throne from the swords of his enemies. This Iron Throne became the symbol of his rule over the 7 kingdoms. The city of King's Landing was built where Aegon first set foot in Westeros. It became the capital of his new realm. Aegon ruled wisely and justly. He established a new dynasty that would last for centuries. However, the Targaryens faced many challenges in the years to come. The legacy of the conquest would be one of both unity and resentment. For almost a century after Aegon's conquest, House Targaryen ruled the 7 kingdoms. However, their history was marked by periods of great turmoil. One such period was the Dance of the Dragons, a devastating civil war that nearly tore the realm apart. The seeds of this conflict were sown with the death of King Viserys I. He left behind 2 heirs, his daughter Rhaenyra and his son Aegon II. Rhaenyra was older and named heir by her father. However, Aegon II challenged her claim to the throne. He had the support of many powerful lords. The Dance of the Dragons was a long and bloody conflict. Both Rhaenyra and Aegon II commanded dragons. This made the battles incredibly destructive. Many dragons were killed and the land was ravaged by fire. The war divided the realm, with different factions supporting each claimant. The Dance of the Dragons ended with the deaths of both Rhaenyra and Aegon II. Rhaenyra's son, Aegon III, ascended the Iron Throne. However, the realm was left deeply scarred by the war. The power of House Targaryen was diminished, and the dragons were on the verge of extinction. The Dance of the Dragons had a profound impact on House Targaryen and the 7 kingdoms. The war depleted the Targaryens' strength, both in terms of dragons and political power. The realm was left divided and weakened, vulnerable to internal strife and external threats. The reigns of the kings who followed Aegon III were marked by attempts to rebuild and heal the realm. However, the scars of the dance ran deep. The Targaryens faced challenges in maintaining control over the 7 kingdoms. Rebellions and uprisings became more frequent. The loss of dragons also had a significant impact on the Targaryen dynasty. Dragons were not only symbols of power and prestige, but also instruments of war and control. Without them, the Targaryens were seen as less formidable, less capable of enforcing their will upon the 7 kingdoms. The decline of dragons mirrored the decline of the Targaryen dynasty itself. Section 5, Whispers of Treason, the Blackfire Rebellions. As the Targaryen dynasty entered its 2nd century of rule, new threats emerged from within. The Blackfire Rebellions, a series of wars that spanned decades, posed a significant challenge to the Targaryen hold on the Iron Throne. The seeds of these rebellions were sown during the reign of Aegon IV, known as Aegon the Unworthy. Aegon legitimized all his bastard children on his deathbed. This created a line of potential claimants to the Iron Throne. One of these bastards, Daemon Blackfire, rose up in rebellion against his half-brother, Daeron II Targaryen. The Blackfire rebellions were fueled by ambition, resentment, and a belief among some that the Blackfires were the rightful heirs to the Iron Throne. These conflicts were characterized by bloody battles, political intrigue, and shifting allegiances. The Blackfire threat lingered for generations, with multiple attempts to seize the Iron Throne. These rebellions weakened the Targaryen dynasty, further contributing to its decline and setting the stage for its eventual downfall. The reign of Aerys II Targaryen, known as the Mad King, marked the final chapter in the Targaryen dynasty's long rule. Aerys's descent into madness, coupled with his cruelty and paranoia, alienated his allies and ignited a rebellion that would bring an end to his reign and his dynasty. Aerys's instability worsened over time. He became increasingly paranoid, trusting no one and lashing out violently at perceived enemies. His actions sowed the seeds of discontent throughout the Seven Kingdoms. The spark that ignited the rebellion came when Aerys demanded the heads of Robert Baratheon and Eddard Stark, two powerful lords. Robert Baratheon, claiming a distant Targaryen bloodline, raised his banners in rebellion. He was joined by Eddard Stark and other powerful houses who had grown weary of Aerys's tyranny. The rebellion, known as Robert's Rebellion, proved to be the undoing of the Targaryen dynasty. Aerys was betrayed and killed by Jaime Lannister, a member of his own Kingsguard. The Mad King's children, Viserys and Daenerys, were smuggled across the narrow sea to safety. With the death of Aerys and the exile of his heirs, the Targaryen dynasty came to an end after nearly 3 centuries of rule. While House Targaryen lost its grip on the Iron Throne, the Targaryen lineage did not end with the Mad King. Viserys and Daenerys, the surviving children of Aerys II, escaped the carnage of Robert's rebellion and found refuge in the free cities across the narrow sea. Their early years in exile were marked by hardship and uncertainty. They wandered from city to city, relying on the kindness of Targaryen loyalists and the fading glory of their family name. Viserys, consumed by bitterness and obsessed with reclaiming his birthright, clung to the belief that he would one day return to Westeros as king. Daenerys, much younger than her brother, grew up in the shadow of Viserys's ambition. She dreamed of a home she could barely remember, a place where her family was loved and respected. Little did she know that destiny had other plans for her. Plans that would forever alter the course of her life and the fate of Westeros. Daenerys Targaryen's journey from exiled princess to powerful queen is one of the most compelling storylines in the saga of House Targaryen. Forced into a political marriage with Khal Drogo, a Dothraki warlord, Daenerys initially felt lost and alone in a strange land. However, Daenerys possessed an inner strength and resilience that allowed her to navigate the challenges of her new life. She learned the Dothraki language and customs, earning the respect of her husband's people. When Drogo died, Daenerys defied all expectations. She stepped into a funeral pyre, emerging unscathed with 3 newly hatched dragons, Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion. With her dragons by her side, Daenerys embarked on a path of her own. She became a liberator, freeing slaves and challenging the established order in the free cities. She gathered armies and allies, amassing power and influence as she prepared for the inevitable, a return to Westeros to reclaim her birthright. The legacy of House Targaryen is a complex and enduring one. For nearly 3 centuries they ruled the Seven Kingdoms, leaving an indelible mark on the realm's history, culture, and psyche. Their story is a tapestry woven from threads of grandeur and ruin, of triumphs and tragedies. The Targaryens brought fire and blood to Westeros, uniting a fractured realm under their rule. They introduced dragons, creatures of myth and legend, into the annals of history. They fostered peace and prosperity, but also sowed the seeds of their own downfall through internal strife and the reign of a madman. Even in their absence, the legacy of the Targaryens continues to shape the fate of Westeros. The whispers of their dragons echo through the centuries, a reminder of both the power and the peril that come with wielding such might. Their story serves as a cautionary tale about the corrupting influence of power, the dangers of madness, and the enduring strength of blood ties. The Targaryens may be gone from the Iron Throne, but their impact on Westeros will be felt for generations to come. Their saga is a testament to the enduring power of legacy, a reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, the flames of ambition and the bonds of family can endure.